Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be recreating this style. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So for this tutorial, I'll be making use of a crepe fabric and I have 4 yards. So you need 3.5 to 4 yards depending on your size. So we'll be cutting out the top part. So from the starting point, I have my shoulder divided by 2, I have my chest line, and then I have my half length. So at the shoulder area, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So for the neckline, I'll be making use of 4 inches and then I'll come down by 7 inches. So from that point, I'm going to connect my lines. Then for the shoulder slope, I'll connect the line as well. So I'll check what I have at that chest line area, divide it into 2, come in by ½ inch. And then at the chest line, I'll place my bust divided by 4 and then I'll curve in my armhole. So I'll go ahead now to place my bust divided by 4 at the chest line plus 2 inches for my sewing allowance. At my waistline, my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines and then I'm going to be cutting this part out. We're good to go with the top part. So we'll go ahead now to cut out the back. So for the back, I have 2 inches for my zipper allowance. After that line, I placed my front on the back. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern as well. So guys, for the neckline for the back, I want it to be a V neckline as well. So I'll go ahead now to cut out the same neckline for both the front and the back. So guys, we're good to go. At the zip allowance area, I'll come in by ½ inch to eliminate zipper bulge. So I'll slant it all the way up and then we're going to be cutting out that part. So guys, I don't want this video to be too long. I've gone ahead to cut out my facing and join the facing for both the front and the back. So this is what it looks like. So just go ahead, cut out your facing for both the front and the back so you can see my facing. So we are good to go with this part. We're going to be cutting out the part that we're going to use as the overlapping. So guys, for the overlapping part, I am going to be using a pattern paper to cut that because I don't want to waste my fabric. So I have my shoulder line, I came down to the chest line, my bust point, my waistline, my hip line, and then the gown length. So guys, for the neck, I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope and curved my armhole. My bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Same thing goes to the bust point line. My bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. At the waist, my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. At the hip, my hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. And I connected my lines all the way down. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. So guys, after cutting out my pattern, I'll also cut out the neckline, then I'll open up my pattern. So guys, after opening up the pattern, I connected my lines at this other side of the fabric as well. So I labeled my line, my bust points, my waist, my hip, and then the gown length. So guys, now you have to determine where you want the slant to be, if you want it at the right side or at the left side. So you determine that. So after doing that, from the shoulder area at that armhole area, I'll come in there by 4 inches. So I chalk 4 inches, and from that point I'm going to be slanting it all the way down. So you slant it to the waistline, but you come up at that waistline by 2 inches. I'm sorry, my phone didn't show that part. So at the waistline I came up by 2 inches, and from that point I'm going to slant to the neckline. So you can see what I'm doing. So at the waist I came up by 2 inches and I slanted to that 4 inches line there. So guys, this is what it looks like. As you can see, at the waist I came up by 2 inches, like I said. So from this waistline here, I'm just going to slant it all the way down. You can see me slanting, following the curve at the middle point of my fabric. You can see that middle line. So I'm just going to slant it all the way down. So from the waist, slant all the way down. So from the waist I slanted all the way down, as you can see me do. So I'll slant it all the way down. After slanting it all the way down, I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. So guys, I'll be cutting out the pattern. If you've watched the video to this point and you're yet to like or subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right back. After cutting out my pattern, I'm going to be cutting it on my fabric. So I placed my pattern on my fabric this way, as you can see. So I'll go ahead now to cut, leaving ½ inch for joining allowance all around. So at the shoulder area, I left half inch for joining allowance at the shoulder area. I'll go ahead now to cut out this part as well. So we're good to go. This is what the pattern looks like. So what we'll be doing next is cutting out the down part. So for the palazzo part, I don't want this video too long. I have a detailed video on how to perfectly cut out a palazzo. I'll drop the link for you to watch. So I'm just going to summarize. So from the waist, I came down to my hip line. Then from the hip, my crotch, my knee, and then my jumpsuit length. So guys, at the hip, I have my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch at that point, and I connected it to the waistline. At the crotch, my round lap divided by 2 plus 1.5 inches, and then I curved my crotch. At the waist, my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch and connected it to the hip line, and then from that point I just connected it all the way down. It's going to be a palazzo, so just watch my video on how to perfectly cut out a palazzo. You get it there. So I have 2 pieces for the front. I'm just going to label this as my front. I'll label this part as well. So for the back, I placed the front and the back. What I did was to add 2 inches sewing allowance all around, and then at the waistline area for the back, I came up by 1.5 and I connected it to the waistline. So guys, just watch my video on how to perfectly cut out a palazzo. You understand what I did here. So you can see I have 2 pieces for both the front and the back. So I'm going to label my back pattern as B. That's the back. So guys, we're good to go with that point. So what we'll be doing next is joining. So I'm going ahead to join the front. So you're joining the front to the front. For the palazzo, you're joining the front to the front. Just join the crotch area using half inch as you see me do. So I've joined my front. So what I'll be doing next is joining the top part of the front to the down part of the jumpsuit. So I'll go ahead now to place it this way. I'll join them facing it right side facing each other, and then I'll stitch using half inch all the way here. For the back, I'll be joining the down part of the back to the up part of the back. So you place them this way, you join them facing it right side facing each other, then you stitch using half inch. I'll repeat same thing here. After joining them together, this is what it looks like as you can see. So I'm just going to place them right side facing each other, and then we are going to be closing the zip allowance area. You know, we added allowance for zip, so I'll close that part up all the way down to the crotch line. Now if you do not understand or know the measurement to use, what you need to do is to place your front on the back to know where you're stitching for the back. I hope you understand what I said. Let me just place my fabric to explain what I mean. So place your front, fold it into 2, place it on the back, make sure the lines are aligning. After you placed your front on the back, go ahead, use your chalk to chalk out the excess at the back. So that's the part we are going to be stitching. So I'll go ahead now to chalk out the excess at the back. So I'll chalk out the excess at the back and stop at the crotch line area. So I'll go ahead now to close the zip allowance area for now. So this will serve as my zip allowance area. I'll close it all the way to the crotch. So guys, for the part that we're going to use as the overlapping, I've gone ahead to use my Emmy gum to close the edge as you can see, and also close the slant all the way down, and I closed the armhole area using my Emmy gum. So guys, we're good to go. I'll be joining the overlapping part to the front part of the jumpsuit. I've joined the front part of the jumpsuit as you can see. So I'll place the overlapping part to the jumpsuit. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So after placing it this way, right side facing right side, so I'll go ahead now to stitch. So I'll be stitching the shoulder area, stitch the side all the way down, and also stitch this other side. So I'll stitch it at this point as well. So I'll go ahead now to stitch. After stitching, we are good to go. This is what it looks like as you can see. So what I'll be doing next is adding the front and the back together. You can see making this is very simple, right? Yes, it is. So you join the front and the back together, right side facing each other. Join the shoulder using half inch. I'll shape my dress. After shaping, I'm going to be closing the flap area. So you must have shaped before you close your flap. So guys, after shaping, I'll go ahead now to place my flap together, stitch using half. So guys, I'll do all of that, attach my zip to it, and then I'll be showing us the end result. So guys, this is the end result. This is what it looks like. You can see me fitting the jumpsuit. This jumpsuit really came out lovely. I love it, and I wore it out. I got a lot of compliments. This is what it looks like when I wore it out. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment, and make sure you're following me on all platforms at Sew with Tess. Love you guys, and do have a blessed day. Bye.